welcome to the Josh Johnson Show. This is Josh Johnson, joined by my co-host, fellow stand-up comedian Logan Nielsen. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
I'm doing okay. You know, it's this feels like weird to say. I didn't know this until this year, but
Was that your throat? I'm so sorry.
What?
I think that was your throat. It just went right into the mic.
Maybe. I didn't feel anything.
It was jarring to hear.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good.
Well, yeah, this sounds weird to say, but July 4th is also my dog Rocky's birthday. And
okay.
Rocky, I can send you a video. Rocky is 19.
He's 9. You were saying he was old.
Yeah.
Because this is the dog that's in Atlanta with your mom, right?
Yeah, baby boy is 19 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's old.
It's so old that no one feels bad for me when I tell people that he's like on his last.
Right.
No one like I tell people and no one is like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like I tell them that he's almost 20 and they're just like, damn. Like no one.
That's the reaction, because it's like, because even when you told me, because I was like, how old is Rocky? And you're like, he's about 20. And I was like, Jesus. Like to me, it's not like it doesn't matter that he's, not doing great or whatever. It's more just like, damn, good for him. That's a hell of a run for a little dog, Like,
yeah. No,
20 is rare in dog.
Yeah. My mom gave him some carrots and ground turkey for his birthday. And he doesn't see as well anymore, so he has to just go for it with his eyes. And the way he lunged at the bowl was like, it was like he was a puppy again. That was like the most alive he had been the whole weekend. He was like, what is that? Ah! No, he was wilding.
Well, good for him.
Did you have a good 4th of July?
I mean, I didn't do anything. I was just kind of here. So, yeah, that's kind of my preferred way.
Okay.
To spend the 4th of July.
I'll tell you right now. The thing that I've been thinking about for this episode for quite a while is all 4th of July themed, because to me, it's where a lot of it's where a lot of America's extremes converge,
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of blowing stuff up. There's a lot of cooking. There's a lot of
arguing about the country.
Yeah, there's just a lot of like buck wildness that all converges on July 4th in a way that we try to avoid on Thanksgiving.
I think you're right there, because especially too there, this year in particular, I've seen it the last few years, but there's always people just being like, you know what, not celebrating this year, America and its decisions, and like totally understand that. But then people arguing about it, and I'm like, right there though, you're participating in the most American thing, which is having a petty argument online.
Yeah.
Incredibly American. You are truly celebrating your country by riling up strangers.
One of my favorites was this is like a few years ago, because so I'm friends with a couple of people in Alexandria still that like do like EMT work, and I think he's like, one of them's a volunteer firefighter, but I think he used to be an EMT and everything. And some of these people would come into the restaurant and stuff and like chat and everything. So there was one where, remember when frying turkeys was just getting big?
Yes.
Okay.
For the 4th of July?
I mean, this person just needed an excuse, I guess. But
that's what I'm like, I know you mentioned Thanksgiving. We're not shifting to Thanksgiving, are we?
We're not at all.
This is a 4th of July story.
This dude this dude took it upon himself to have, the American classic of a fried turkey. You know what I'm talking about?
I want to get sleepy and watch fireworks.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. Let's handle explosives while we're full of turkey.
It's actually the best way to celebrate, because then you get yourself real nice and sleepy off the turkey, and then the fireworks wake you up, and you're just in a terrible state of limbo for the entire evening.
Yeah, just vacillating between dozing and startled.
Yeah, it's like taking cold medicine and then drinking a shot of espresso. You're like, I don't know how to feel right now, and none of it feels good. There was okay. I'm sorry, I'm digressing here, but this good. Is a quick thing. There was a kid when I was growing up who swears that that 1/4 of July he was shooting the Roman candles. And did you know you're actually not supposed to hold Roman candles?
Yeah, you're not. Yeah. I think you're by rule not really supposed to hold any fireworks, but
I'm not gonna lie. If I don't hold it, how am I gonna use it? Because now it's just a stick on the ground that's on fire shooting at people's feet.
Right.
They don't give you a stand.
That's what a lot of other fireworks are too, but yeah.
Yeah. They just don't give you a stand, but then they say don't hold it. It's like, well, then don't use it.
I think the don't hold it is one of those things they just have to put on it. It's like the warning label on cigarettes. They still want you to buy them.
Oh, okay.
Hey, get the Roman candles. Like, yeah, of course you're going to aim them at each other. That's the fun. Run around with it in your hand. But, wink, wink, don't do it.
Okay, I see. That makes sense then. Because this kid swears that when he was growing up, he was shooting off Roman candles, and one went into his uncle's mouth.
Should have not taken a drink there.
And it he was like it shot right into, because he had shot a bunch of them around, but then when he turned, just the angle of his hand and his uncle talking just went right into his mouth, which made me wonder what Roman candle is then. Is it a little ball, or what's the thing that's burning up with color?
I mean, that'd be like the various gunpowders or whatever.
So then he just had gunpowder in his mouth.
Probably. I mean, I think that's what's in Roman candles. But
okay. Because this is the
thing. And ever since then, Uncle Steve could no longer taste sweet.
I have no proof that this happened, but when that kid's uncle came to pick him up one time, and he just was like waving bye at us because we were sitting there talking to him. When that happened, I did see him smile, and he did have a dead tooth. So I mean, maybe it's true. Maybe a Roman candle hit him right in the tooth.
But it's potentially related.
And murdered it.
Or he pulled up to pick him up, and he's just drinking. You can see it's a piping hot cup of coffee just steaming, and he's just slamming it.
Yeah.
Because man can't feel nothing anymore.
Imagine if that's your superpower. Just not really having feeling in your mouth.
Oh God!
Yeah,
I don't know if that'd really be a superpower. It would be it'd be a fun fact about you.
Yeah.
But anyone you told to, they'd be like, "Huh, that sucks."
Yeah, they'd be like, "That's really sad. That's a shame."
And then they'd be like, eat this candle or whatever. It would always be, "Hey, eat something then."
Yeah, just to prove it.
Yeah. Chew on this. I don't know. Bite this fork.
Yeah.
What do you want?
But anyway,
yes.
Out of the sidebar, this dude fried a turkey on 4th of July for his family.
Using gunpowder.
He straight up, this is like something out of an Acme cartoon, though, because he straight up built the platform that the pot was going to be on, and then the fire department was called to his house because he sets the whole thing up himself. Is very proud of it. Is talking about just doing that, that bro stuff, that dad stuff of barbecuing and frying stuff, and doesn't want to hear anything from anybody.
Yep, he's in the zone. That's his happy place.
So instead of even having, how they have the stick with a little hook on the end that people usually hook the turkey to drop it into the Instead of any of that,
the barest of safety measures.
yeah.
Which I have a feeling this guy's about to skip over.
Instead of any of that, this is, and I don't know if he worked there, but do you remember the stick man from, well, you didn't grow up in like a black neighborhood. Okay, so the stick man is like,
I didn't grow up in a neighborhood, period. I grew up on a farm.
I'm with you. I messed up in even trying to see if you would get what this is. So
No.
The stick man is like a guy who at a big department store or at a big clothing store where they have rows and rows and rows higher than anyone can reach. You hit up the stick man and then he gets the suit, pants, or the whatever that's hanging up too high. He uses a stick to do it.
For sure.
Right?
Okay. I've seen those.
Okay.
It wasn't necessarily just one guy at every store we went to, but was this one guy's job?
That's usually that one dude's job.
He's the stick man.
He's the stick man.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. So then this dude is like,
I'm sorry to get hung up
on stick man.
Yeah, but just like you were just like, dude, you didn't grow up in a black neighborhood. Is that a black thing? Is that there's just
I feel like only
man?
Black people call them the stick man.
Okay, interesting.
I've seen it at
maybe.
like, I've even seen a guy do something like it at a Costco, and no one called him the stick man.
Right. Okay. Well, it probably wasn't his only job at the Costco. So maybe just these stores, it was the only. He was the stick man.
Can I tell you that when that dude is not out sticking, he is just on a Bluetooth outside of the store acting like he doesn't work there. So yeah, that's his only job. That's a stick man.
Honestly, sounds like a pretty great gig.
It sounds like an amazing job.
I'm actually down. I'm going to apply for stick man.
I wonder if he works on commission, because that would be amazing. Now he's just pulling stuff from the high floor for you.
He gets paid.
He gets paid off the dresses
down.
he pulls down. He's like, let me get you. And so,
you sure you don't want this one too? I get paid a little extra for everything I bring down.
So the stick man used to use a little hook that is the same as the turkey hook, right?
Gotcha, yeah.
Apparently in some stores they don't do that anymore, and it's like still a stick, but the stick has a function now where it sort of bites the hanger instead of just unhooking.
So just being a hook, yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what this guy was using. He was using one of the bite clip things on a long stick to hold the turkey, which is obviously not going to hold it well because the turkey is however many pounds, and this thing is made for grabbing shirts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so a part of me would like to believe that he was a stick man, because that just that basically brings his work home with him. Like,
well, he's got his own sticks at the house for practicing.
Yeah,
he's out in the yard grabbing stuff.
Yeah. Oh, you want a butterball? Let me get you a butterball real quick. You want a butterball and a blouse? I got you. And so then my man is pulling the stick and lets the turkey drop from the teeth of the hook, right? So like the thing opens up, turkey falls, and there's just way too big of a splash.
Of course.
There's just, the splash is just ridiculous. And so immediately the whole pot is on fire.
Just explodes, yeah.
Yeah. And instead of exploding, it does a James Bond trail away from the platform that he's built, because the platform starts to burn. And that thing, I think it was made out of like Luan or something. So that thing goes up in a hurry. It looked like, you like when a magician uses fire and that magic paper burns almost immediately.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Apparently it looked like that, because then it burns so fast that the pot topples over. So now he's just burning his own backyard. And
of course he is.
And like a James Bond movie where there's just a trickle, where somebody's like lit up a lighter thing,
right? Yeah.
A thing. It goes straight to the stack of fireworks in his backyard, and so the fire department was called to his house because luckily he didn't burn it down, but he nearly burned it down because the whole backyard is on fire, and then the fireworks are going off now in their packaging.
Yeah.
And the funniest part of that story to me, when it was told to me, was that a family member had started calling the fire department as he was dropping the turkey in. So they didn't even wait for there to be a fire.
They were just like, this is going to go bad.
They were like, there was about to be a fire at 800 Cypress Road. Like
Listen, I've seen him work as a stick man, and this man drops everything.
Yeah.
So I'm calling now.
There's a lot of dirty shirts that people are expected to purchase because...
Man, though, an exploded like fried turkey vat, which then lights a pile of fireworks on fire. That's like an American nativity scene. Like that. Having that in your yard, that is celebrating the 4th.
That's so funny. Yeah, because I couldn't even understand why he was frying the turkey for the 4th, because it's such a Thanksgiving thing. And I guess
Absolutely
you can burn down your house at any point in the year. Like, I guess, you just really just need an excuse. But even the barbecue.
Yeah.
Barbecuing is safer, and that uses more fire. You actually bring coals. You bring charcoal to a barbecue.
Right.
And it's somehow less dangerous than let me fry a turkey for my family. Also, on not enough notice. Like, it's not like they were coming for the fried turkey. That dude just wanted to do it.
Just wanted to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the guy from the fire department was like, hey, my man, just by the time we got there, all the damage had been done. Like all we could really do is pat that dude on the back and let him know his grass will grow again. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Because it didn't
nature will rebound.
Yeah, it like didn't reach the house. Even though, especially in Louisiana, when you're firing off stuff in the city limits and stuff, you gotta be very careful because a lot of the trees will cross over the street. Like some of those trees are big that the fireworks can't get through them when you're shooting them up. So we had that problem when I was growing up. There were these people who would put the fireworks in the middle of the street. Mm-hmm. And we were always just like, someone's house is gonna burn down. There's no way it's not. There's like we can see the fireworks not clearing the branches. So then they would fire them off, and it would happen every year. And I couldn't tell if every year it was a different family or if the same family was just being optimistic. But they'd shoot them up, and at least one or two of them you would see bounce back down, and then everybody would run. And it's like, what are we doing? This is insanity then.
Yeah. Yeah, all of our best decisions are made on the 4th. Everyone's really in prime decision making mode.
Now, did you have any barbecue on the 4th?
This year, no, because I got home the 3rd from us being in Arlington, and I didn't sleep that night before, so I kind of spent the 3rd and 4th just existing, just kind of laying out. I don't do much either because my neighborhood had a lot of fireworks going on, and my dogs do not like that.
Gotcha.
So it's just kind of it was. I took it as an excuse to just chill out.
Yeah,
play some video games.
No, that's fair.
So I didn't do much.
I didn't get barbecue, but we did go to, maybe it was the 4th or the 3rd. We went to Red Lobster, and that was great. That was very good. I remember, I think about all the barbecue that I've had over the years for the 4th or in or around that weekend, and I don't know why, but it just always sort of cracks me up how adamant people are that their method of barbecue is the best. Because you're just, be honest, you're mostly burning it. It's weird that dudes get into a battle with each other of I burn it better, okay?
Right.
The way I burn it is more efficient. I just put a flame right on it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love grilling and stuff like that, but I have no real pride in that. I'm just I hope it's edible. I don't. But yeah, some people I don't know. You reach an age where you need something to make you feel important. That's what I think a lot of it is.
Now,
I think it's just guys being like, I serve a purpose. I matter.
one of my favorite, like barbecue anything, is like, you know, where I come from, and how there are people who eat, especially if you the more rural you live, like if you're in like Marksville, like all that, like Tioga, all those areas, you know, and you go hunting a bit more than people who are in like proper cities in Louisiana and stuff like that, then, you know, you're gonna have your fair share of deer and other stuff that's like a bit gamey and everything. And I'll never forget, this dude said that okay, I should back up. So when I was in junior high, I was like friends with a couple of people whose family was more rural. Like they lived in Alexandria, and then their family lived further out. All right.
Gotcha.
And these are I'm trying to remember if I'm trying to get this right. So these people that I'm describing are the direct family to the kid that I went to junior high with, but the in-laws are coming from like another part of the country. I don't even remember where, but they were just like not country people. All right.
Okay. City slickers.
Yeah, you could call them city slickers. All right.
Huh?
And so the city slickers come through for a 4th of July
The quest,
weekend.
they're looking for Curly's gold. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's going to be a summer wedding, and this kid's big sister is getting married to this city slicker son of a bitch. All right.
God, probably a college boy too.
Yeah, probably a college boy with all types of, probably got more degrees than a thermometer, you know?
This city slicking pencil neck college boy.
Yeah.
Coming around here thinking he's better than us.
Probably wears a duck on his collared shirt, or a gecko, or an alligator, making fun of us. And so
Doesn't even go catching crawdads. He does.
So basically, they're all going to spend the weekend together, right? As they're spending the weekend together, this kid's dad offers to, you know, do all the barbecuing for the whole family. And since these people aren't from here, and frankly, they probably don't know what good barbecue is, they're all for it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, don't come to me with like your, I don't know, Montana barbecue. Like, I'm sure it's good where you are, but like if you're coming over from like some big city in Boise, Idaho.
I didn't realize the people from Boise were the big threat to,
No.
to Louisiana.
I'm just joking. I think they were from Boston. They just, the vibes that were put out were very much like money Boston type things.
Gotcha.
When I said, like, in earnest, they were people who Southern people would probably call city slickers if they lived in the country.
I was gonna say, yeah. If it's,
But still, don't come at me with your version of barbecue. You don't know what you're doing. What you're doing is a version of what we're doing that's just frankly not as good, because it's so cold in Boston that you need to keep your hands warm, so you're not even paying attention to the meat while it's cooking. You know, you need that
Southerners
body
make
heat.
good barbecue, but they make it unfun. To be honest, you guys are too.
No.
You guys get way too immediately angry about barbecue.
Yeah. Barbecue and football is what will ruin for everybody. We don't care. We'll ruin it with college as well, where it really doesn't quite matter.
Yeah.
We do that in a lot of instances. You would think that for how seriously we take the small thing, we'd be better at the bigger thing. So then for as serious as we are about college football, you would think that all of our NFL teams would be amazing.
Right.
Like they'd just be crushing. And that's not the case. It's very weird. But they come through.
Because even there, you got angry at no one about barbecue. Like even just now. I just wanted to illustrate a point.
I had to represent for the story. I had to let people know that the attitude going into this family weekend for them was like, don't come here. You may read more books than me. You may know who James Joyce is, but don't come to me thinking you have better rubs than I do. All right. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, with your fancy starched shirts and you're coming down here telling me how to barbecue.
I know who Shakespeare is, but do you know who Sweet Baby Ray's is?
I celebrate a true artist. And his name is Sweet Baby Ray.
Sweet Baby Ray's. You ever just took a sip of some Sweet Baby Ray's right out the bottle because it's that good? Maybe you didn't need any meat. You ever take a little sippy sip, huh? Just to make sure that this is the Sweet Baby Ray's that you want on your chicken.
You gotta make sure it's good. I like to sneak a sip at the store just to make sure it's the one I want to buy. I like to open
if it's
up
not good, I put it back.
I put it right back. That's someone else's mistake they can make.
So basically, they offered to barbecue for the weekend, and
the people from Boston,
no,
City
people
Slickers?
from Louisiana offered to barbecue, and
so it sounds like no one from Boston offered to barbecue, but you had to let them know. Hypothetically, you weren't okay with it.
From the way that he told me this story, it never sounded like them barbecuing was a threat or a circumstance they had to worry about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that...
Well, the way he was telling it to me was like, was that he was like, we offered to barbecue and everything because they don't know what they're doing. Like, so he went into a whole thing.
See, that's the thing. Like, at no point were they just like, listen, I really think we should be the ones barbecuing. They never wanted to. They're visiting. They know their guests.
Someone saying barbecuing like that to me is almost as bad as racism. Like. I don't like that at all.
I was trying to put a New England on it.
if you're hitting the word barbecue with that dialect from The Fighter, I don't want it.
Wow, there goes our fans in Boston.
No, they are great at a lot of other things, but I just don't want to hear them say the word barbecue.
They're great at a lot of things except for saying barbecue.
I would even wager that they're better at barbecuing than they are saying the word barbecue.
Jesus.
What?
Nothing.
Some people should just say BBQ.
Oh boy.
So they cook up an entire feast, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know why, but this is just funny to me, I guess. So this whole story may be for naught. But but they cook up an entire feast, and then as they're chatting at the table and they say grace and everything, and then they start to eat, a couple of the people from Boston are like, wow, this is the best meat that I've ever had. What is this one? And they're like, oh, that's squirrel. And their eyes get like a little squinty, just like, what do you mean? Do you mean it's like squirrel in the game or whatever?
Yeah. Is it like a dish
name? And it's like, no, it's a squirrel. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, well, what's this one? And they're like, oh, that's deer.
That's a bigger squirrel.
And where the people visiting lost it, they were like, what is this one? And honestly, I've never heard of this except for this one time. They were like, what is this one? Because they also had a little bit of snake. They had some snake, which is wild. I don't know if they actually hunted the snake or whatever, because the deer and squirrel, you imagine that they hunted and froze for an occasion like this. But the other one, snake, I don't know. But the one that they said that I was like, hey, I'm kind of on their side, even though I didn't want to say it in front of him, was skunk.
Ooh.
So they had some skunk meat that they had barbecued up and everything.
That's self-seasoning meat right there.
And I was like, that was when he said it, where I was like, oh, you're like a little too country.
Yeah.
And when his dad proudly said skunk, one of them spit out their food, like spit out their food immediately. And then the others were just looking around, and you could see them all trying to not freak out, like trying to be cool, but they're all realizing that they're like eating the gamiest things. Like they were fully down to sit down and eat like chicken, like beef, brisket, all that stuff, which was there, by the way. So it's not as if these people fed them an entire feast of just skunks.
Right. Still, though, I love that this story had the preamble about bragging about barbecue and putting down their taste from it, and then was like, anyway, we made you squirrel and skunk.
Anyway, here's some squirrel, here's some skunk.
Yeah,
and the skunk, you could just see the family dynamic like breaking down, because he was like they were so rude, they were acting all uncomfortable, like they were gonna be sick, and it's like, you were eating the skunk just a second ago, you didn't even know it was skunk. And I was like, yeah,
you gotta warn somebody, though.
I was like, I was just trying to go along. I was like, it's crazy, man. That's wild that they didn't want the skunk, because if I had been there, I would have been like, gah, 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 gah. Like, I didn't even know what he wanted from me as he was telling me the story. Because even in the story, it's like, you're kind of in the wrong.
Yeah.
Like you didn't tell them a thing that I don't think anybody eats.
Yeah, not really. I mean, unless the most country people.
I've seen people eat squirrel. That's not even my issue. I could see how some people would be opposed to eating it, because they might be like, "Hey, no one is regulating this one."
Yeah,
like you could be eating straight rabies at the moment.
That is meat you found. Even if you hunted it, you found that meat.
Yeah, and that's also that meat is also mostly bullet, because there's no way. At least with a deer,
I'll take my bullet medium rare, please.
Yeah, you could shoot a deer and then eat all the deer.
There's a lot more deer, a lot of other deer that you did not shoot.
But when you shoot a squirrel and it explodes, I'm assuming there's nothing left to eat.
They use small caliber. It's but no, still you gotta.
I'll tell you right now, I don't even know how there was enough squirrel to go around. They must have shot 10,000 squirrels.
Yeah, they found a community of squirrels
and just laid bare in whatever squirrel cave they were in.
Yeah,
because there's no way that there was enough squirrel to really go around. Yeah, I remember him being like truly indignant, and I honestly didn't know what to say.
Yeah, because how do you? Because you can't disagree, because he's angry that people didn't love his surprise skunk. So he's not going to be open to a counterpoint. But but how do you get excited about it?
Maybe you just put a table setting with a black and white streak on it.
Yeah,
just so people know where the skunk is.
Yeah, I think generally most mysterious meats should be labeled. Go ahead and just put with the species, so I can mentally prepare.
Because I'm not even saying an absolute unequivocal no. I'm just saying, let me make that decision for myself.
Exactly. Let me decide. I'm not saying I won't try it, even. You know what I mean? But just let me know what I'm trying. Yeah. Yeah. Because the fact that, I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't know exactly how they reacted. That was so offensive, but I imagine they reacted like if you told someone it was cat. Yeah,
because apparently one person spit it out immediately, and then the other people just were like, kind of getting like, "Ooh, is it hot in here?" And then they left like soon after.
Do I smell? Am I turning into a skunk?
Yeah, yeah. Like soon after they found out it was skunk, they left.
Which is interesting because it's like, I mean. It's an animal. It's no grosser than the animals we already eat. It is just funny how, like, if you're used to eating a certain type of animal, you're not immediately disgusted by it.
And it, like, I don't know what kind of Romeo and Juliet rift it caused between his big sister and the person that she was supposed to marry. Because it's like, because that they're there to like
the
meet
marriage
each
didn't
other.
happen.
That'd be so funny
It's from that meeting.
if they were. If they were like, no son of mine is gonna marry some skunk eater.
You're not marrying that filthy skunk eater. I'm just a Kennedy now.
Yeah, I was like, isn't that just JFK?
Yeah, well, they were from there. They were from Massachusetts.
Oh, okay, no, I'm just saying that was a very specific one.
I will not allow my son to marry some filthy skunk eater.
It would be even funnier if one of them, especially for how he was describing them, of just very like hoity-toity, whatever. It would be very funny if one of them did kind of get some rabies, like that, like
Just a little bit.
just like if they went back to their yacht club and they were like, "I say, Jefferson, you're foaming at the mouth."
Back up, or I will fucking bite you. I bet too they weren't hoity-toity at all. I bet that's just his version of them in the story because the skunk put them off.
Yeah.
I bet they showed up and were just nice and were trying their best, and then they were like, "What's this skunk?" And he's like, "These fucking these uppity assholes thinking they're better than us." It's like, no, most people don't eat skunk. So.
Yeah. Oh, I guess you're too good for our snake.
I guess you're too good for the meat I found in the woods.
Look at the city slicker who thinks that he's too good to eat a sack of venom. Because some people don't know what they're doing.
Exactly, yeah.
There are some people that are like, "Oh no, that little pebble, you can eat that. That's just a little rock."
Little rock, good for you.
One of my
rock every now and then.
favorite like snake things was and this is one of those things where we went to, I think it's in Marksville, there's a guy called the Rock Man, and we went there every year in my elementary school as a field trip about like geology and stuff. And he's
sure your area just doesn't have people whose sole identities are just singular objects? The stick man, the rock man.
The stick man, the rock man.
Skunk man.
There was a firework man. So
firework man. Yeah. See, I think now I'm wondering if this is just your area that everyone is just assigned their object.
Yeah, everybody just has a job that they can't quit because I live in.
Here's your blunt tool and your identity. Here you go. You are stick man now.
So we would go to the Rock Man every year, and this dude had all types of rocks for like lots and lots of different prices. So he was making money because as kids we'd be like, "Oh, I'll buy this $1 rock that looks very cool and is polished and purple and everything like that." And then he had the crystal people, like the really like out there hippie people would buy crystals from him and stuff. And then he would just have these beautiful like, I don't even know what you would call them, but it's like when you cut a rock in half and there's like all these shards of amethyst and everything that's like...
Aren't those geodes?
Yeah. So he would sell the biggest geodes I've ever seen in my entire life.
Damn.
So I've been to a couple places, like even Sally and I were in Arizona, and we went inside this rock shop that had some pretty big ones for like a good chunk of change, but still was like nothing compared to what this dude had. Because he had essentially dedicated his life to it, and he was like...
He's the rock man.
Yeah, he was kind of like a self-taught geologist almost, because he would describe to us what the differences in the rocks were, but he wasn't, I don't think he held any degree or anything. He just had an internet connection and the will to dig.
The will to dig.
And so this dude told us, and then we saw it as well, and it was, this whole thing was way more terrifying than, I think they thought it would be cool, and it was just scary. We go on this field trip, and the guy lives on his property that he sells the rocks from. And he talks about how one day he was going to the bathroom and he felt something. And when he stood up and turned around, a rattlesnake was in his toilet. And so the rattlesnake in his toilet jumped out at him, and he managed to dodge it and then like promptly stomped it to death, right? But then,
And then he cooked it up for his friends from Boston.
then he made a toilet seat cover out of it. And it's in the bathroom right now. And it was one of those things where I really had to go to the bathroom. Like, even as he was telling this story, I was holding it.
Right.
And so then I was like, should I just piss myself? Because he didn't make it sound like another snake couldn't come through the toilet.
He wasn't clear that it was an isolated incident.
Yeah, he was just like, I killed the last one that did it. I'm like, hey, what? Don't tell me that and then be like, oh, and by the way, it's at the end of the hall to the left.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, if you go down the hall, that's the snake room. Sorry, bathroom. If you go in there, I forget because there's always so many snakes in there.
And then I see
I've heard of like snakes getting into toilets. I've never heard of a rattlesnake getting into a toilet. I didn't think that was a thing they liked, was being in water. Like that,
I mean, there wasn't much water in the bowl. Like this dude is living on the slightly off the grid. Like he's on the grid enough for us to find him, but he's not really there. Because when you go to his property, you're like, rattlesnakes would love this.
I love that this started as like, this is gonna be a 4th of July episode, but really, this has just been a very telling episode about where you're from. This has been a really.
Hey,
this isn't about America, everybody. It's about Louisiana.
Look, this is about celebrating heritage.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, the stick man is my new 4th of July mascot. You know, the 4th kind of needs one. We don't have a good. It's just a guy grabbing stuff with a stick.
The stick man's here forever. As long as there are oversized department stores that are overstocked, there will be a stick man.
As long as there are shelves, there will be stick men.
God.
By the way, it is like just after 1 p.m. on July 6th, and I just heard some fireworks going off.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, that we're
There's
recording.
nothing like the late
They're popping
ones.
off right now, yeah.
There's nothing like the really, really late ones where it's like July 8th, but you still got some leftovers.
When I'm going to get my money's worth, okay? I'm not taking a bath on these fireworks, all right?
Taking a bath? Is that what you say?
I've heard that phrase before.
Taking a bath on
If you're
fireworks.
getting, yeah, especially if you're like getting screwed on something. But I ain't going to lose money on this.
Oh,
right?
man.
I remember I think we talked about it before, but like our old neighborhood in Chicago that we lived in Rogers Park, like that was a straight month of fireworks.
Yeah.
It would start 2 weeks before the 4th, and it would go 2 weeks after. And like clockwork, too. It was a full month of just explosions.
Now, because I guess I've never told you, all of these things are happening in tandem right now. I've never told you about the firework man.
No.
Okay, so this dude owns...
Yeah, I'm getting introduced to the Louisiana Avengers here.
Yeah. Stickman,
Rockman,
and Rockman.
Firework.
I'm sure there's a couple... I'm sure there's a couple others that I'm just forgetting. Oh, yeah. There's one of them that I've never told you about because it's just too. Yeah. Okay. So the firework man.
Well, that was fucking ominous.
Yeah. It's like I don't even think you'll enjoy the story. There's the firework man owns like an entire. What would you even call it? It's not like. It's basically kind of like the what do you call the thing that the 18-wheeler is dragged? So you know how there's like the bed of a truck is behind the...
Yeah.
Okay. When you have an 18-wheeler...
Sure.
What's the front of it called?
The cab?
Okay, so what's the cab pulling?
The trailer?
Okay, the trailer, I guess. The way I'm trying to describe exactly how it looked, because the people, especially that I went to elementary school with, will probably...
The big box with wheels.
The big box with wheels also works, I guess. But basically, the way that this works is he had converted like 3 18-wheeler type trailers together, all to like sell all the fireworks that he had, and then they would flap up. Like he had truly converted them, like he had cut holes in them so that there'd be an awning when he opened it up and everything. And it was, I think, just outside the city limits so that you could buy from him.
This is like a traveling mini mall he's invented.
Yeah, but he leaves it there. That's the crazy thing, though. He leaves it there all year, and he only sells 1 month out of the year. So I don't know if he actually leaves the fireworks in there all year, but that whole thing and that whole plot of land that he seems to own is
like
all
a Halloween
for 1
superstore.
month. Yeah,
just sits there for the rest of the year unused.
yeah. And so, who was it? I remember like a few people that I grew up with bought from him, and I'll never forget. I never got to like meet this dude or anything, because also you never know. It's like sometimes you just have to be like careful around certain people, because like I'm not putting this on him, but like I'm pretty sure that he sold some fireworks where I was a little like, oh, are you like a bad person? Like, I don't know.
Are you like the Unabomber?
Yeah. Because he'd sell some that like you're like, I've never seen any. Like he'd have the sparklers and he had the Roman candles, all the stuff you're supposed to get.
Right.
But then I remember one time this kid was talking about going there with his dad and then trying to buy this big one from him, because basically his dad wanted to save money. So rather than getting a bunch of the little ones that they have to keep popping like all day to nothing, because especially I think that's just like a dad thing, like not just the saving money, but we're not going to pop these off when it's still light out.
Well, I want to get the full,
want to get the full
experience.
Effect.
Yeah.
And so he was selling these things with like long, insane names, like the rocket triple launcher and all this stuff like that was set up to keep popping inside of it. So think of like a Roman candle that's like stocked into the ground, and it's gonna have all the designs and stuff. So he's selling like these, almost like the Chinese ones with like dragon designs and stuff like that they're supposed to do. And then there was this one where it was just like a box that didn't have any. It had like a label in Sharpie, and he's like, "What's this one?" And the guy's like, "Oh, I made that one myself." And they were like, "Oh, okay, that sounds rough."
Yeah,
doesn't sound great. Sounds like you don't even know if this will work.
Yeah,
I want a firework that'll explode in the air, not 2 feet off the ground.
No, if you throw it.
Yeah,
it'll get in the air. It just needs a little help. All right.
And then there was one.
You want to be like on a roof or something? Then yeah, this is the one for you.
I feel like he was probably just trying to upsell, but this kid said, it's like an urban legend about him, I guess. This kid said that he grabbed, what was it?
Oh, it was boy, but you need to finish this sentence, though.
He grabbed like a square type firework from him that was like a one shooter. And he was like, how much is this?
Grabbed. One? For a second, you're like an urban legend about him. He grabbed, and I'm like...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of like, you gotta say the end of this sentence.
Oh, my bad. No.
Because the fireworks man sounds like someone who would have rumors about him.
And so he grabbed this like square little packet that was a one shot, like you just light it, goes off. And and then the kid was like, how much is this one? And the dude was like, oh, that'll take your finger off, and just took it back from him. And I guess he wanted him. I guess he wanted to be like, no, let me have it, and then he could like upsell it.
Right.
But once he said take your finger off, the kid was like, fair enough. We've purchased a lot.
We have a other assortment of child endangerment that we've already purchased. You can keep that one.
Yeah.
Oh boy, the fireworks man, huh?
Fireworks man. I mean, who knows? that dude was probably just Greg to most people, and kids called him the fireworks man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that thing spread the way that I'm putting it out there as if it did. I know I call him the fireworks man,
Right.
but my friends and I don't account for the rest of the whole town. I'm sure that for some of these people, they are just known by their name and that's it. Like,
Probably,
the
yeah.
stick man
probably-
is probably just Charlie.
That's Charlie. Everyone knows. Hey, get Charlie. He'll get it down.
Yeah.
And someone's like, go get the stick man. They'll be like, he has a name,
Now, to be fair,
and it's Charles.
the entire class and school that would come called him the Rock Man. That dude was the Rock Man.
See, I think that's different though when you do a thing like where you work with kids. Then you want to be the something man.
He had plenty of opportunities to tell us his name.
Yeah. We used to have this guy who he like worked for. I think he worked for like the DNR or whatever around. He was kind of a not like a nature expert, but he'd come around and always do it. And his name was Dan, and we all just started calling him Dan the Nature Man. And I think just that still is just within like all the kids still, because I subbed there and he was around, and I heard some of them refer to him as Dan the Nature Man. I'm like, I think we started that, and that just stayed as school parlance. Like all the kids now just know him as that. I don't think anyone else calls him that. I think it's just stayed in the middle school ever since I was there.
I like how I like to think he likes it enough that his name is just Bobby, but he just goes with it. It's like, yeah, I'm Dan.
Well, his name is Dan. His name is actually Dan. So it's
How do we know?
yeah.
If he lets
I wanna-
nicknames take off, how do we know he doesn't let the wrong name take off?
That's true. He just snaps one day. He's like, "It's Robert." I know that doesn't rhyme with Nature Man, but my name is Robert. Hey man, should we open up the mailbag?
Yeah, let's do it.
Especially since we didn't do it last time.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Let's do some of these ones I meant to do last time. These are some about our 100th episode, but my camera died. This one here, this is from Lizzie, and the title is To President Squeaks. And it says, Hiya, if you don't feel comfy reading this on the pod, it's fine. But after a long while of listening, I felt the need to voice my thanks and also so very cheekily ask maybe a favor. I started listening in October 2020, I believe, and shortly after got acute pancreatitis. I'm sorry, Logan, but having Mr. Squeaks in A&E, what is A&E? That must be something hospital.
I don't know.
But Mr. Squeaks in A&E was wonderful company as a painfully chronic extrovert in hospital quarantine. You're welcome, I think. I'm not sure how to... Honestly, though, I have had a rough few years, and you two have got me through it, but this email isn't about me. My sister Alice, who loves the pod, is 6 months sober tomorrow. This would have been from last week. And no matter when or how you read this, if you could wish her a happy 6 months, it would make my year. So incredibly grateful, Lizzie from London. Hey, Alice. Congratulations. You did it. Hang in there.
Hey,
You're killing
Alice. Happy 6 months.
it. Happy 6 months. Good for you. Staying strong. Doing your thing. Kicking ass. And also thank you, Lizzie, for that email.
Yeah, thanks for letting us know. We're glad we could keep you company, you know?
Yeah. Oh, so this is about... I think it was our 99th episode. So this is from, just says NWE, and longtime listener, curious about open mouth puppet master. That sounds like a personal ad in like the classified.
Yeah. Seeking open mouth.
Open mouth puppet master.
Wow.
Dear Josh and Logan, I'm emailing you in regards to episode 99, Say Something Dummy. Did the friend that went on the date with the puppet master ever tell them that the restaurant was making fun of them by prolonging his act? I kind of feel bad for the guy. If I was on the date, even if he was bad at the act, I would have told him that and told the restaurant off for choosing to humiliate him that way.
Two things. To my knowledge, no. And then
Right.
second, this doesn't seem like someone you can humiliate. Like, From what she told
Yeah.
me, it seems like even if you had been like, stop, they're making fun of you, he'd be like, still getting some practice in.
He's still talking through the puppet. Here's the thing, too. I kind of feel bad for him, too, but that is immediately offset by the fact that he brought his ventriloquist dummy to a date. So
Yeah.
I no longer, it's hard to feel bad for a terrorist.
Yeah.
It's hard to, because also he planted it somewhere. And that's the part that hangs me up the most.
Yeah.
Is that he had it at the ready somewhere. If it wasn't outside in his car, any other option aside from that is fucking wild.
Yeah, it's actually wilder if it's at coat check.
Yeah.
And someone had to
Yes.
give him his dummy back. And he's not leaving.
Yeah. And then he's got to get, the puppet has to get its card to get its coat. Let's read this one since we literally just saw this person, but this is 100 episodes. Hi, J-Lo Goths. This is from our friend Allie. Hey, Josh and Logan. I can't believe you're almost at 100 episodes. I mean, we've already done it. They sent this right before. Congratulations on the success of this podcast as well as your individual successes. You're both killing it, and I'm proud of you, even though I don't know you like that. Hey, I'll still take it.
Yeah. I
It
love
still
a good
means a
proud
lot.
of you. I'm never going to
proud
deny
of you.
it.
From anybody. Anyone can say they're proud of me, and I'll be like, nah, thanks. Doesn't matter. That's good. One of my favorite episodes was Getting Zen with Joshy when you talked about meditating. I'm heavily invested in learning about emotional regulation, and a lot of things Josh said resonated with me. Plus the okay, I almost read this wrong. Plus Eastern philosophy fucks. That's how. I also appreciate how in discussing meditation, it slowly became a critique of capitalism. Nothing but solid truths. I didn't remember that it's the same episode with the story of the weedhead grandma, which made me love it even more. As a frequently zoinked individual, I fully support this woman and hope she one day gets to gnome the mailman. That sentence was full of so many in references to our show.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
For future episodes, I'd love to hear more esoteric, anti-capitalist, bad review, stonery, goth, and or emo stories. Logan's puns are a must, especially because Josh hates them. Speaking of goths, I made some drawings for y'all to add to your collection of broody fan art. I drew Josh as a traditional/vampire goth because I get that vibe from him, and since he's a self-proclaimed vampire hunter, originally he had eyebrows, but I removed them because that look goes hard. For Logan, I gave him a punk goth look to match his bold disposition with spikes of his leather jacket to ward off any small talkers. He listens to Nick Cave and the Bad Squeaks, obviously. I also gave him an almost mohawky hairstyle that is closer to emo than goth because he thinks MCR is goth when they are, in fact, emo, though this is widely up for debate. Listen, I'm not trying to start anything. I just feel like they're in the neighborhood. Hope you guys like it. I'm excited to see y'all in Arlington again next week. Much love. Your friendly neighborhood townie, Allie. Thank you for that. And she sent us this amazing fan art. They were the ones I already showed you. Do you want me to bring them back up, or I'll put them in the video?
Yeah, put them in the video.
They'll definitely be in the video version of this. I think I'm going to try to. Someone suggested too that maybe I need to make a database of all of the goth drawings we've been sent to put somewhere. So
yeah,
that might be something I might be collecting them all again to to put them in some sort of online gallery.
Yeah,
people to
no,
view.
for sure.
Because we have a lot of going. These ones, though, are fantastic. So thank you for those, Allie. And it was great seeing you in Arlington and everyone else we got to see in Arlington.
Yeah, thank you, everybody that came out to Arlington. We had a great time, and it was great to meet you.
Very fun time.
Thanks so much for listening to the Josh Johnson Show. We had a great time recording. I hope you had a great time listening. If you are looking to catch up with us on any of the socials, you can find me at Josh Johnson Comedy on Instagram, at Josh Johnson on Twitter, Josh J Comedy on Facebook, and Josh Johnson Comedy on TikTok and YouTube, where we're going to be posting clips of the show. You might be watching one right now. And if you're looking for Logan,
You can follow me on Instagram at Logan M. Nielsen. And if you want to get into the mailbag like those wonderful people there, you can email us joshjohnsonshow@gmail.com. And if you want some bonus content, you can join our Patreon, patreon.com/joshjohnsonshow. Oh, and we got a live show coming up at the end of July.
Yeah.
In New York. A live podcast. So if you're in the area, come see us.
Doing it. Living
forever. Together forever and ever to part. It's the song I sing every time I see Josh.
And I hate it. I don't like it.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it, but
doesn't care. I tell him to stop and he won't.
Not getting rid of me. Not getting rid of me, you little scamp.
All right.
I'm like a growth.
Oh, God.
Yeah?
Okay, so I'll stop recording now.
Hey, we are at Side Splitters in Tampa, Florida, and it's about 8:02, and I have forgotten the hoodie. This is probably what I'll be wearing. Did not think it through. So Manny was nice enough to go back to the hotel, but he may not make it in time because he is 8 minutes away. I am going up in 8 minutes. Logan's up right now. Oh no, this is my jacket from, I think I was 14 or something. This used to be way too big for me, and now it kind of fits. I mainly just wear this for the warmth. Wait, hold on 1 second. It looks like he's pulling up. 1 minute. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate you. Okay. Let's see.
Correspondent on the Daily Show. Once we start clapping, make some noise. Let's hear it for Josh Johnson.
I love Christmas time. It's one of my favorite seasons because I love the gift giving. You know, because I'm not good at giving gifts. I'm not. Like, I put a lot of thought into the gift. I think about the person. I think about the gift. I think mostly about what I can afford. And then I get them the gift, and there's nothing more disappointing than their face when they open my gift. Like, it's like, because these are people I love that love me, so they fighting to look at least mildly enthused. Like, the battle they're having in their head to not ask me what I was thinking. You can see the wheels turning where they're like, I don't want to be rude, but now I'm genuinely curious. What was on his mind when he bought this? What would make him think I would like this, right? Like, I remember one time I bought my friend, okay. I bought them like a really nice, and it was expensive. It was very nice, and it was polished, but it was like a polished figurine of an Easter egg. And then they opened it, and they were like, oh. Oh is never good, by the way. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if you propose and you hear, oh, it's about to be no. Like, it's very close. It's coming up. And so I gave them the gift, and they were like, oh. And then I felt like I needed to fill the space because they said, oh, and they didn't say anything else. But I was like, clearly I need to let them know why this is a brilliant gift. And so I was like, because you love Easter. And they were like, oh.
And I hadn't been hit with 2 O's in a while. That second O let me know that maybe this is just bad. Maybe they weren't confused. Maybe they decided they hate this gift. And so I was like, yeah, because you love Easter. That's your favorite holiday. I know it's Christmas, but it's still something to do with Easter now. Like, I got you something rather than waiting to give this to you on Easter. I got you a little bit of Easter in winter. And they were like, you could have got like a crucifix or something. And I was like, yeah, wow. That did not occur to me. I forgot you love Easter because you love the Lord. I just thought holiday egg. Let's make it happen. And so I don't always get the best gifts, which is, fair enough, which is why I love going to other people's Christmases. Like when I was in college, I would get invited to spend the holiday if I didn't go home to visit somebody else and spend Christmas with them or something. And it was nice because I got to watch other people be bad at giving gifts. And it's just nice to not feel alone, I went and had Christmas with my buddy one time, and family was all around, exchanging gifts and stuff. And everybody was bad at giving gifts. It was a holiday miracle. Dad got the mom some gifts, and she opens it, and she lifts it and shakes it a little bit. Oh, it's heavy. It's heavy. Unwraps it, and he got her weights. And she was like, why'd you get me? And in my head, I'm like, go ahead, answer. Please answer. Why'd you get her the weights? Why'd you get them, Stephen? What are the weights for? Now you can see the flicker in his eyes where he's like, they were on sale? But it was fair enough because then he opened her gifts. And she got him look, you think the weights are bad? This woman bought this man 50 Shades of Grey. If you don't know what 50 Shades of Grey is, it's a book, but the things you think of when you read the book, the pictures it puts in your head are the fantasy. You go to places, And so the idea that she would get this man 50 Shades of Grey, I don't even know what the attack is. I don't even know if she's like, you need to read anything, read more, I don't care what it is, or if it's like, just do the book to me. Like, when is this man supposed to read 50 Shades of Grey? At work? Is he just supposed to be in the break room hitting up that 50 Shades of Grey? This man drives a truck. You don't think anybody's going to ask him? Hey, Stevie, what you reading? Oh, no, it's just this book that, my wife got me. This is a rich guy that's, like, getting involved with this young lady. And, I can't tell. She's like, you should read more or do that to me, or I'm done with it. Like, she had also read 50 Shades of Grey, so I'm like, she just didn't get him anything. And then it was my buddy's turn, and I feel like it takes a long time for a child to be good at giving their parent a gift. The first few gifts you give your parents are from other adults. That's just it. It's just like, hey, this beautiful diamond bracelet is from you and me. We're going to give it to your mom together. And then you stand there all proud like, yeah, the diamond bracelet is also from me. You know, with all my 5-year-old disposable income. Do you love it? And then your mom, because your mom loves you, goes, oh, what a beautiful, oh my God, hugs you all tight and everything, and you feel all proud. You didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to think of anything. Sometimes you get somebody, when you're little enough, you can get anybody anything, and they at least pretend to love it. When you're like 5, you could draw them a picture. I did that. There was a Christmas where I drew a bunch of people pictures. I can't draw at all. I gave them less than nothing. I wasted their time. I genuinely wasted their time because I wrapped the picture that I drew, and so they had to open it like it was about to be something. And the worst part is that I was like, oh, let me not let it get crinkled up or anything, so I had it in like an envelope with the wrapping paper around it. They probably thought it was going to be a check, anything actually valuable. It was too much work. There was a little bow on it. They had to move the bow. They had to unwrap it. They had to not crinkle it. They had to open up this envelope just to get a picture of them that looked offensive. When I think back to how I drew, there's no way I drew a good-looking person. I drew as best as I could put my hand to the page, and it wasn't good. Everybody's head was out of proportion. But I was little, so they pretended to love it. They were like, oh. And I think some of them did love it. Some of them probably did love it because they loved me. And they were like, oh, this person that used to not even exist, that's so little, so cute, love me so much, they did their best. And that's very sweet, right? But then you get older. And then it's like even more obvious you didn't get the gift. You know? It's like, oh, you know, maybe your dad comes up to you, hey, these earrings, they're from me and from you, okay? Because you were with me when I bought them, and you helped me pick them, and then tells your mom, earrings for us. Earrings are from you? Yeah, they're from me too. With all my 9-year-old disposable income. And I was the one that pointed, so also from me. And then around like 12, 13, it's time to get a gift. Like a genuine, like something, put in some effort, right? You can't lean in on dad's gift anymore. And now you're on your own, and this is where I really failed. This is where I fell apart, because I was like, okay, what can I afford? I could probably get her some candy. What does she like? All right, she already has a Bible. This is going to be tough, you know. And gift giving is such a skill. Gift giving is its own gift because it means you were like listening for the right moment. You understand a person so well. Sometimes you get a gift that's so bad that people are like, oh, you don't know me at all. Or you got me this gift because you want to show me how little you care about me. You really want to step out of just saying I hate you with words and do it with surprise. Do it with a little mystery to it. Maybe wrap it up, put a bow on it, box it up. You know? And so, you know, they opened my buddy's gifts to them, his parents. Right? And he got his dad a calendar for the year we were in. Almost all of the calendar had happened. And then he was like, son, there's only a little bit of the year left. You got me a planner for 6 days. And he was like, nah, Dad. All you gotta do is cross out the last number and it'll be a calendar for next year. And he was like, why didn't you buy a calendar for next year? And he was like, they ran out. So I got one for this year. There were plenty of those. And he's like, son, that won't work because the days also change. It won't just work to put, because it'll be a different day of the week when it's that date. Next year is a leap year. It's like, oh, my bad. Okay. I can return it. And then my buddy got his mom a copy of 50 Shades of Grey. And it's like, I was like, do you not know what the book is? In what world? One of the worst gifts I've ever seen somebody give was a cat. This dude got his girlfriend a cat, and it would normally be adorable, right? Except the cat was fully grown and had already decided it hated people. I don't know where he got this cat from, but this cat, first of all, the cat was barely a surprise. They knew it was a cat as soon as he tried to give the cat, because what he did was he tried to put the cat, so you know the crate that you put a cat in? He had the crate, but he had wrapped it, and he had put the little, like, slits for, you know, the front for air in the thing. But as he's handing her this thing that's way too heavy, he's handing it like this, and inside she can hear, like it's... The cat isn't meowing. The cat is screaming. It's guttural. It's coming from the back of the throat. And then she rips the wrapping paper out of the way. And the cat is like, and then she's like, oh, you got me a kitten, right? As soon as she opens the front, the cat, this cat was amazing, by the way, because it both had agility, but also the most mass I've seen on the cat. This is the fattest cat I've ever seen, but the way that it flew out of the crate past her and was just running in the house, just like... And he's like, oh, you got me a cat. Oh, my gosh. And then she went to try to pick the cat up. And the cat, okay. For a little while, I didn't believe it was a cat. For a little while, I thought it was either like an actual, like, bobcat from the wild or a demon. Because the way that she went to pick it up and then it stood up and was like... It did, like, it was ready to put his paws on her. Like, this cat, like, it couldn't, I'm not saying it boxed, but I'm just saying, like, the way it would, like, almost stand, it would get really high, and then it would let that first one come up. And this cat hated everyone and everything. And I was like, did you get the cat from, like, a shelter, or where'd you get the cat? And he was like, okay, look. Which is never a good pet origin story. He's like, okay, look, the cat crawled up into the hood of my car. It was cold, it wanted to be warm, and so it crawled up. And then when I was pulling the cat out, it just kept coming out. There was so much cat, because it's the biggest cat any of us have ever seen. I was like, it looked like a lion. Like, you can't just give someone a pet like that. A plant, I feel bad enough letting it die. You can't let an animal die. You can't just be like, oh, well, I didn't even meet this one. It shouldn't even be on me because it was a gift. That sounds so crazy, but it's true. It's like you've just given this person duties now. And not a lot of duties. The cat was very fat, and it was clearly a street cat, so it knows how to survive. I don't know if y'all saw, but a lot of the Amazon workers went on strike today. Like a bunch of them went on strike, yeah. Which I think is phenomenal, not just for workers' rights, but because I low-key have not got anybody anything yet. And like that's, when I was like, hey, yeah, give them whatever they want, all right? They should stay out there till January 2nd or something. Genuinely, I was like, oh man, okay, and then that means that things won't get delivered on. We serve a mighty God. We serve. You know? But yeah, the Amazon workers are striking. It's one of the biggest strikes against Amazon ever. I think it is the biggest ever against Amazon. It's in different places and everything. And it's coming at a time where Amazon needs them desperately. Rest of the year, you could kind of, shirk them off. But this is Amazon promised us Christmas. I hate to burst your bubble in case you still believe, but there is no Santa. Santa is whoever is driving that Amazon truck. And Amazon made a promise. They made a promise through Prime. They made a promise through pre-orders. And, why their reputation stakes on delivering on that promise. And so if the workers strike and they can't get things to the people, maybe the people are like, wow, I put a lot of stake in you, Amazon. Maybe I'm just going to go to Target next time. But Amazon, they claim not to have it. They claim that they don't have the money. If it's laughable to you, then imagine if you work at Amazon. And you just looking around like, oh, so y'all don't have it. The boss went to space. Tell me what you don't have again? Oh, we don't have it. We're not able. We need too many people working at the same time at a pace that's unrealistic because we tried to replace you with robots, but then, the robots killed themselves. Dude, everybody forgets about that. Everybody forgets that when they've tried AI, they've tried to replace the workers in their faces, and the AI, the robot, whatever it is like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna break forever. The robot will do everything except hit itself in the head. That's wild. That's so crazy that you would just tell us you don't even have. That's one of the main things I can't stand about a lot of big companies. And don't get me wrong, right? In the future, you may even see me do like a partnership with a brand that I like. I'm not saying business in and of itself is evil. I'm not saying big business in and of itself has to be evil. I'm just saying the way that some of the most profitable companies in the world have worked is evil, right? And so my thing, especially with Amazon, is that there's always, for you, the customer, there's always surge pricing. There's never, across any company that I know of, outside of overtime, surge pay. That's all you need. If you had just been like, listen, for 3 months, working at Amazon's gonna be the most profitable. It's gonna be the most profitable thing an employee can do. We're gonna pay you 2x, 3x, whatever it takes. Because we also know how much money they made because they tell us. Why would you do that? Why would you go on the news, by the way, to be like, Amazon made a record-breaking whatever billion today on Prime Day, and then tell the people that work there, y'all, we ain't got it. The boss needs to go to space again. No, it's insane. Because it wouldn't do, I don't know, it wouldn't do what companies claim it would do, to pay more, if nothing else, during the seasons that you're asking them to work more. And we can't even begin to fathom the conditions all around that are like in an Amazon warehouse. We hear about them from time to time. People get fired, or they get hurt, or they quit, and then they tell us. And it never gets like fully enveloped all together. One, because there's not enough time. Too many people have been screwed over. It's like, we all know somebody who dated somebody that was like trash, right? Like they dated a bad person. After like the third testimony of dating this person, you're like, I don't even need to hear anymore. This person is undateable. They shouldn't be out. You know, and that's what it should be like with Amazon, but it's like the stories don't get to enough people, and there are people that are like, oh, I got docked pay for going to the bathroom. What they want me to do, you know? Or I got hurt at the warehouse because everybody's trying to meet these like specific time-stamped goals, and if they don't meet them, they might get fired, and this is the job that they have. This is how they're going to pay their rent for the time being to make ends meet. So they're pushing the cart extra fast, not looking where they're going. They run over somebody's foot. They drop a box on somebody's head, and then there's a whole system in place. Instead of making a system to make it safer, instead of making a system to pay people more, or instead of making a system that just functions better, there's a whole system in place for when things go wrong. So that way, they don't have to pay people out, or they don't have to. You would rather hire a lawyer to come up with the type of NDA that when someone dies at work, their family can't sue, than to just do things the right way, you know? Because we've decided that it's like more profitable to be a bastard. I mean, but like, I guess my thing is this: at a certain point, the fact that no money is enough, right? The fact that there's no number, you can't get higher than space. Do you know what I mean? The man has been to space. There's nowhere else to go because he's not going to heaven. There's no more. You have enough money. I'm not even saying that as someone, look, I'll be honest with you. I'll be very honest with you right now. I would like to, in my lifetime, make a lot of money. I have no gripe with people who have a lot of money. It's only the way in which they make that money. That's all that ever bothers me when it does bother me. I usually don't care how much money anybody has. We're all on a different path. Some people are born with money. You can't help that. Some people make a lot of money through everyone wanting to buy their product. You can't help that. I'm not jealous of anybody. I want everybody to do well. It's just, I look at the state of things, right? And there's no perfect system. I'm not saying I have the whole answer. The answer is you're going to have to make less money. But I don't have an answer that they would like or implement, you know? I guess my thing is this: if we want to help the workers as much as possible, bodies get put on the line when they try to meet these goals, right? It's one of the things that they're protesting, one of the things that they're striking against, is that they have to put their bodies on the line to get things to us, the consumer, right? When we order. Because for us, it's just a click. For them, it's their body, it's their livelihood, it's their life sometimes. And I think the only way to fix this, at least temporarily, is to bring back like 2013 Black Friday. I think rather than putting it all on them, we got to get out in the streets and we got to start beating the ever-living shit out of each other for the products that we want, that are supposedly on sale, right? Black Friday is a shell of itself, and it is unacceptable. Most of it happens online, which is disgusting, right? We need to get these prices down, and actually down. I don't mean the thing that like Walmart does sometimes, where it's the same price and they put it back the next day and they made you think it was lower because of the day. I'm talking about actually marketably lower, right? And then we have to start training in August.
Okay? We need to start practicing, maybe even with family. Bring the family. Let the family come early, all right? Throw some bows, right? Make sure that like grandma's shuffle is good when she's trying to get through people. Make sure that the youngest brother can really handle that offensive line that you're going to need to create to get to the register, all right? Make sure his tackle is good. And we need to get back in stores the way that it used to be. One of the problems is Amazon's too powerful. They wouldn't be too powerful if we started shopping again at the stores that we shopped at before Amazon, right? One of the other things is that, you know, that dopamine hit that you get when you buy the thing and then the thing comes the next day. I'm not saying you don't deserve your dopamine hits. I'm just saying it's a much stronger dopamine hit to knock the hell out of somebody for the TV that you want. This is America. You gotta earn your dopamine. Okay? The amount of strangers that we used to have, America used to come together to be divided for one day. Used to wrap that wrist around the throat of a neighbor. And you used to sink that choke in tight. A choke that would make John Jones proud. A choke that would mean that your family got to play the board game Sorry that night. Because you went in and you choked until you saw a little bit of blue. Just a touch. Just so you knew they wouldn't fight anymore, and then you let them go, and you didn't drop them. You're not a monster. You placed them down gently. It was the next person running up that stepped on their chest. It is the American way to build community through violence. Okay? We used to do it. We used to get in there. We used to make it messy. You know? You would have like, you'd have a couple scrapes you didn't know where they came from. You know what I mean? You'd have a whole cut on your arm and you'd be like, huh, makes sense, but I don't know when it happened. But I don't know. I'm bad at giving gifts, but I hope that everyone striking for Amazon gets what they want for Christmas. Genuinely, I do. Like. I can tell I'm bad at giving gifts because all I can offer is jokes.
Put your hands together for Josh Johnson, everybody.
Like, I've been traveling a lot, and in traveling, it's hard when you're an adult to look at things that you experienced when you were a kid and not recontextualize them when you get more information. When you're a little kid, the world is face value. Everything that's happening is happening because I guess it's supposed to, or because that's what people do, or everything's very simple when you're a little kid, and then you get older and you see different things, and you look back, you know, and you're like, wow, that's what was going on when I thought things were just normal, you know? And I've been experiencing that a lot with around America with the dollar stores. There are three types of dollar stores. There is Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, and Dollar General. Now, an honorable mention does go out to the 99-cent store. The 99-cent store I want to discuss first, because the 99-cent store is completely unhinged. First of all, they don't have inventory at the 99-cent store. They have what they have, and you either found it or you didn't. You know that you found it or you didn't because what they showcase outside the 99-cent store doesn't make any sense at all. It's just up to the discretion of that like franchise owner. The 99-cent store, the store will be here, right? And then they'll just put 2 shower curtains and then 16 potted plants out front. What is this place? Then you walk in and it's like, it's like if somebody truly made a business out of garage. Because when you walk in, nothing has like a designated spot or anything. There are things hanging on hooks I didn't even remember had hooks. I forgot that each broom I've owned had like a little hook to it. But then when you walk into the 99-cent store, almost like a beaded curtain, you walk through brooms hitting you in your face. 99-cent store that I went to was so big. It was way too big. It was a warehouse of trash. It was like a hoarder died and then they tried to sell everything. Because the 99-cent store I went to had a stick man. It had a man who would get to the tallest stuff at the top. And this was the worst stick man in stick man history. Like, admittedly, some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about, and this is a black thing. Like, this is mainly where we shop. There is a stick man. But, like, the stick man was not good at all, because you're used to a stick man getting up there and unhooking something with precision, bringing it down. You know, he might even drop the stick a little bit, catching his hand, hand it to you, right? This stick man was over here. I can't tell if he was nearsighted or farsighted, but he could not see what he was sticking. This man was over here battling. You'd be like, can I get the one up there? He's like, yeah, I got you right now. I got you right now, young blood. Then it falls on the ground. He'd pick it up, dust it off. No. Our stick man was trash, and he had, okay, look. I need glasses, all right? I'm not better than anybody. I'm not judging. Everybody got their own prescription, and that's their cross to bear, all right? But he had the most specific eyes I have ever seen in my entire life. This man had one Coke bottle and one that was very thin. Like, just, it seemed like he just needed a monocle, but he was like, nah, I don't trust myself to hold it on my cheek like that. Go ahead and give me glasses and just make one glass transparent glass. Because he clearly only had one bad eye. Like, it's his eye, like this eye had to be good, because when you would look at him, one eye looked like he was doing this to you, right? Like one eye looked super big and the other eye looked regular. But then when you saw him, when he would turn, you could see both of his eyes were regular size eyes. So that was just the glass. And so he had one like Coke, but thick, bulletproof glass on this side, and then one that was very, very thin, right? And he would knock stuff over and go pick it up and everything. And he worked at the 99-cent store since maybe before time. This man had been there a very long time. He might still be there now. I don't know. But everything that's there is not like quality. You know what I mean? It's literally 99 cents in today's economy. This stuff isn't even just made in China. This is up off the floor in China. This is the stuff that they throw away in China, that they were like, you want this? All right. If you sure. This is how you could tell these are the worst products ever made in the history of humanity. They are so toxic that whatever you touch, whatever color it is, that's the color you are when you get done touching it. If you touch a green broom, you will pull back a Shrek hand, all right? I had a green broom and a blue dustpan because they were sold separately, you know? goodness forbid you package them together and they're $1.19. You know what I mean? They were like, we can't have that. We'll have each for 99 cents. And then I bought the green broom and the blue dustpan, and one hand was Martian Manhunter and the other hand was Smurf. I couldn't get my hands back to normal for days. I don't know what they painted that with. Spray paint comes out easier. 99-cent store is trash. And then you get to Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree made the guarantee a long time ago that everything would be $1, and they were the first to break that promise. You want a lesson in life not being fair, you go as a child to the Dollar Tree and buy one of their very illegal, individually packaged Capri Suns. Capri Sun they don't sell them like this. You're not supposed to do this. That's how I knew I was broke sometimes. Like, you a kid going into the Dollar Tree for a Lucy Capri Sun. It's terrible, but like, and you know, they don't put them on the shelf. You gotta know if you know. And so you go up there, you like, all right. Feel like I'm buying weed or something. I'm over here. Come on, sip, sip. Come on. You miming it. You. One time I bought a loose Capri Sun, and the man up in Dollar Tree tried to charge me for the straw. I was like, you are the devil. You are. Ooh, I rebuke you. That's crazy. You gonna sell. That's how I can tell you a demon. You gonna sell me the straw separately. What am I supposed to do with this? Suck it with a safety pin? This is crazy. That's insane. This man over here sliding the Capri Sun to me, and I'm looking at him. What's wrong, man? You know, come on. He's like, that's extra, young blood. I'm like, hey, what? From a young age, I could identify with people who rob stores because that was very aggravating. Dollar Tree was over here just, letting themselves run out of inventory. I would go in the Dollar Tree and there'd just be whole spaces, whole sections empty. At least the 99-cent store is packed. Packed to the brim with stuff that doesn't even make sense. The 99-cent store would have one of something, proudly. They'd have one of something and the price tag. There was one time I went to a 99-cent store, I saw one bra. That's crazy. I'm like, that's lost and found, if anything. Y'all don't have a single other bra in here. And you gotta hang the bra next to the snacks. You know you shouldn't be selling this bra. Because Dollar Tree would let themselves run out of like everything, and then you walk in, it's just bare shelves and stuff. At least the 99-cent store would try to make sense of things. 99-cent store doesn't make any real sense at all, and you can tell because sometimes they'll sell stuff that should be sold for a totally different purpose. I've been very confused in a 99-cent store before. One time, I was in a 99-cent store, and on the shelf, it said 99 cents. So far, everything's checking out. It said 99 cents, and then it said hat. It was a hat for 99 cents, right? But then on the shelf, clearly, is a bucket. That's a bucket. It's a bucket, though. Like it is. Like I'm not crazy. That's a bucket. You can make it a hat if you want, if you believe, but that's a bucket. All you gotta do is flip this over on its bottom and put bucket, and we don't have any problems. But hat is crazy. And then when I'm checking out, I bought a broom, I bought a dustpan, and then he's like, and one hat? And I was like, you don't believe that though. There's no way you believe that. Because it's not a hat, it's a bucket. And I want to be clear, it's not even a bucket hat. It is a bucket. A bucket. So then you have Dollar Tree, you know, then you have Family Dollar. Family Dollar, I've talked about this before. Family Dollar really helped me pinpoint on the map of life where I was. There's a quote, I'm gonna get it wrong, but there's a quote by, I think it was Nikola Tesla, that said that man's grasp, the reach, is man's grasp, what is it?
Man's grasp exceeds his reach.
Man's grasp exceeds his reach. And I think, it's man's grasp.
Reach exceeds his grasp.
Man's reach exceeds his grasp. I was like never gonna correct you because I didn't know either. But like, as soon as you said something, it did sound. Yeah. I didn't know either. So man's reach exceeds his grasp, and I think that Family Dollar's inventory exceeds its means, because every year of my life, Family Dollar has been trying harder and harder to be a grocery store. Every time I go up in Family Dollar, they add one more item that they should not have at Family Dollar. I remember the day I went in Family Dollar and saw milk, and I was like, no, we not built for this. A lot of people are gonna get sick, okay? I'm a kid, but I'm still trying to tell adults how to run their business. I was like, y'all don't even have the fridge space for this milk. Come on now. And Family Dollar has always helped me keep track, truly, being honest with myself, of where I am on this map of life, right? Because at first, I walked in Family Dollar, I saw milk, and I was like, y'all, don't do this. And 2 years later, I was like, let me go ahead and get the milk. 3%, you say? I've never heard of 3% before. That is interesting. I've never had 3% in my life. Maybe I'll get stronger bones. Who knows? So you got Dollar Tree, you got Family Dollar, and then you have Dollar General. Dollar General is the stuff of nightmares. Dollar General is straight out of a horror movie. And I don't say that because of the experiences I've had at Dollar General. I say that because of where they put Dollar Generals. Dollar General will be the last thing you see before you die. And not Not in a curse sort of way, not in like the Ring sort of way. Dollar General will be put in the middle of a field. Whether you are in the South or the Midwest, the only places Dollar General truly exists and thrives is the middle of nowhere in the South, the middle of nowhere in the Midwest, and the Sahara. I don't know. By the time you see a Dollar General, you're like, is this a mirage? Because I've seen nothing but fields for 30 minutes and then one Dollar General. With a man working there from the 1800s, who knows? Those Dollar General, people that work at Dollar General get bold with you when they're out. When you out in like their area, you at this Dollar General in like Ball, Louisiana. You walk in, it's like, not from around here, huh? It's like, you even talking like the movie. Who says that to a customer? Not even where you from. Not from around here, are you? Oh. Now you can tell a Dollar General is terrifying. Because out of a Dollar Tree and a Family Dollar, I'm just talking about my experiences growing up, you know. Out of a Dollar Tree and a Family Dollar, a Dollar General is the least likely to be robbed, all right? I've seen Dollar Generals, you know, be on the news, not for being robbed, for the attempt. Do you know the horror that has to go down for the attempt of a robbery to make the actual news? Nothing got stolen, but everything that happened was still so bad that it made the news. There was a dude who was on the news. I'm pretty sure it was Dollar General. And this dude made the news because they ran up in the Dollar General trying to rob it, which also not a great plan. Dollar General doesn't exactly have a lot of sales going on. And so for all the sales they do have going on, let's just say no Dollar General I've heard of needs a safe, all right? And so to run up at a Dollar General to rob it, you already expecting to run out with like $26, okay? But this man ran up at a Dollar General trying to rob it, right? And not only did they take his gun, they beat him with his gun. And then the getaway driver called the police on them. I'm just curious how that went. Because when you run up in a place to rob it, you at least have what one would hope is the element of surprise. You would hope a place doesn't get robbed so often that they are ready like Neo from the Matrix to snatch the gun out of your hand as soon as you walk in. I'm sure people going in to rob a place have like a rob and walk or like a gun-toting bravado maybe. But imagine being robbed so often that you're like, no, when they come back. Because this is the thing that blows my mind, is that we're in the South, and this dude ran up in a Dollar General to rob it, and they didn't shoot him. The South loves guns. We love guns. And we, like a fever dream, wish we could shoot someone. And then here is someone running in with a gun to do evil. Someone that the law would say, shoot. And the employees at the Dollar General were like, actually, I really prefer hands. Imagine how crazy you have to be, how bad of a week you must be having for somebody to run up in there with a gun out to rob you, and you go, this is exactly what I needed. You know what? Let me tell you something about the Lord, all right? The Lord won't put more on you than you can bear, okay? And the Lord knew people had been trying me all week. People I wasn't allowed to hit. People that I could never put my hands on. And so then the Lord sent you to me at work, the place I hate most, to go ahead and take out a week's worth of frustration on you with the butt of this sawed-off shotgun. Imagine you run into a Dollar General to rob it, gun already out. Hey, everybody freeze, whatever he said. And then the employees turn and he's like, open the register. And they're just smiling. You don't know what happens next. Maybe a blackout. Maybe you watch them take the gun out of your hands because you weren't expecting that. And then you see the butt of the gun coming back real slow. I'm sure the next part is a blur. I'm sure all you really know is you hear yourself getting whooped. It's almost like an out-of-body experience. You forget, was this my gun the whole time? It's not acting like my gun. You wake up. The police are standing over you, and you haven't been arrested. Because all the damage was done to you. Oh, Dollar General, insane. It's crazy, too, because every once in a while, Dollar General will buy a store that used to be a nice store. Like, it used to be like a dope store. Like, truly, it used to be like crazy. Like, I remember there was a place I went with my grandma, and I don't even remember the name. That's how like little I was, where it was just a memory of being with her holding my hand, and us walking into this place. And you know how when you're little, things are bigger? So I'm sure if I went there now, it would look like the size of a regular department store. But she took me to this place, and it was huge. In my head, it was so big, right? And she bought some socks, she bought some other stuff and everything, and then we left. And I remember when I would ride with her, because, you know, I would go with my grandma during the summers or after school. My mom would drop me off at my grandma's because she would still be working and stuff. And so when I'd run errands with my grandma, we'd pass that place over and over. I'd always want to go back inside because I had such a fun memory of like, there were so many toys. It's just huge, right? And it had closed. And so my grandma would remind me every time that it had closed, right? And then eventually it became like a dollar store, like a chain dollar store. And I remember it being like, man, that place was cool. And now they sell 3% milk. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to put this. I told my friends a story a long time ago about how my friend met this woman online, right? And this was back when meeting people online was still like not quite done. It was still new to do that. And the woman that he met wanted to meet up one night, which is exciting because this is why you do it. And she said she wanted to meet up, and he was like, where do you want to meet? And she was like, oh, behind the library. which should have been a clue. Said you want to meet behind the library, and he was like, oh, okay. Which library? Because so she told him which branch. And then they met up, and it just took him too long to realize he was being robbed. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just... Like, even when he showed up and it was two dudes, he was like, but where's Sarah? It's like, You need to wake up, dude. Sarah's a fiction. And that's the way that I feel about Trump federalizing D.C. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I don't know how other people feel about it, but I was watching it this morning and watching them talk about it, and it was an interesting speech because you would have thought he would have stayed on crime the whole time, but he definitely diverted a few times. Like there was one point where I really don't like. I'm not even joking right now. I genuinely don't understand what he was trying to say, because there was one point where he was talking about how, like, trans people fight or something, and it just started to feel like the kind of conversation you have with someone who is 2,000 years old. Like, it just... It was weird. It was like he, because it came out of nowhere. It wasn't like part of the thing. And then people, you know, are obviously like worried, terrified, confused and everything. Because there are people who are like, he can't do that. That's not legal. And whenever I hear that, I'm like, what are you, a Democrat? Like, this is the goofiest. That's illegal. It's like, all right. That's what my buddy said when he was getting robbed, too. He was like, well, this is illegal. Stop. Out of your mind. Hey, that's illegal. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But what are you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. That's a question that Democrats constituents ask. That's a question that Trump is asking. That's a question that's on everybody's mind right now. If you oppose what he's doing, what are you gonna do about it? You know? And I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I know what to do at all because I genuinely don't. I mean, I know that people protested today off of the announcement, off the fact that, like, just imagine you live in D.C. and Trump says he's going to, like, deploy the National Guard. And you just, like, not only is crime at this, like, 25, 30-year low, but, like, you just got to the point where you were probably starting to feel kind of safe on the street, and now it's going to be the National Guard looking at you every day, confused why they're there too. You know, people forget that the armed forces, like obviously, you know, soldiers are supposed to follow orders and everything like that, but the armed forces are filled with people of differing backgrounds and opinions and everything. So it's not as if everybody that ever gets deployed is excited to be deployed. And it's not as if they're always well taken care of when they are deployed. You know, these people, they signed up to do a service for the country. I'm curious how they feel about being deployed against the people that they're supposed to protect instead of against, like, some foreign invader or something. You know, I'm not gonna act like I know. I've never served or anything, but I've talked to people in the service, and they come from all different types of backgrounds. They vote in all different types of ways. And I'm sure that if you're walking down the streets of DC feeling disheartened, feeling like you're being occupied, there's probably somebody standing there as you walk into work that's like, yeah. I don't know, because it has been on my mind all day, and trying to figure out how to not just like talk about it, but say something more than just like, I think that might be bad. Like, I think that we're having a moment a lot like my friend had, where it's like you just have to be very aware of what's happening, because to not be aware doesn't mean the thing will go away, you know? Like, we don't want to be behind a library going, "Where's Sarah?" for our entire democracy. Because that's, yeah. I think that's the thing that I find so, like, aggravating about it, is that he is a person that tells you what he's going to do, and then he does it. And then there are people who supposedly like him that are positive he's not going to do the thing they said he was going to do. They're like, no, he won't do that though. And it's like, then why would he say it? He trolling. Like, he's just like, all right, but what if he's not? No, he wouldn't do the thing he said he'd do. Who does that? You know? Because I'm not going to act like I know what to do. And I think it's more important for everyone should know who, on every level, their representatives are, and what they do for you, and what they're doing for you right now. And it's easier to hold those people to account when you know who they are. You know what I mean? Like your state senator, or everything down to, like, you know, alderman. Everything. Because it's the fact that these people go unnoticed, the fact that we expect whoever, business people, celebrities, whatever it is, to pick up the slack of the people that were elected to do those jobs. All right? Like, we're in a position now as a country that's very scary, because we look to companies to do some of the work that local government should be able to do. And now we've stripped resources from local government to the point where you do need who knows, Amazon to come in and bring in jobs, because how are we going to get jobs now? Or you need on a state level companies that you give everything to, and they give you very little for the resource that you're missing, you know? And so now we're at a point where some of our infrastructure is completely buckled without us really realizing it. You know, there's been such an influx of money into the economy because of AI, and because of the gamble and the race to be number one in AI that all these companies are making. There's been such a rush to build and fill these data centers that money is flowing in a way that, you know, the effect of the tariffs isn't fully being felt. The economy and the like 5 top businesses in the S&P 500 are now carrying most of the weight of the S&P 500. Like, we're at a point that's close to tipping, and it's very important for the people to be held accountable. They're actually accountable. You know, it gets very easy to divert and get mad at this person, or notice that this person said something, whatever it is, it's the actual people who vote on these things, who have the power to say yes or no to large companies, knowing that you know where they are and what they do, that holds them to account. As long as you are distracted or you're blaming whatever, the person to blame when it's too late, then things are going to stay the same. You know, representatives, to me, work a lot like when you're out with your friends, and let's say you're like young too, maybe you're like 21, out at a bar or a club for the first time. You don't have any experience with this stuff. You're just the 4 or 5 of you guys all together, buddies in college, going out to like a bar or a club for the first time. You don't really know. You don't have any swag yet. Don't have a ton of confidence. All you know is you see 4 or 5 beautiful ladies across the room. And so you think to yourselves, oh, well, what should we do? One of us should say hello. We should say hello, you know, and then maybe they'll want to come over here, or maybe we can go over there, but it should just be one. If it's all 5 of us, that's just, ooh. You have enough wherewithal to know that all 5 of you approaching at the same time maybe isn't the move. 5 horny men approaching all together. Ooh, doesn't come off well. You know what I mean? If all 5 of you are... it's not going to go fantastic. You know that. So you decide, I'm going to we'll send a representative. One of us, the best of us, to make us look good. We'll send them over there. He'll charm everybody, and then we'll walk over and reap the benefits of his hard work. Or maybe he'll be so charming that he'll invite them over to our table, and then we can order drinks for us and them. But we'll know that we sent him, he did a good job, and then he'll come back to us. And so your friends, they start campaigning. They start campaigning with promises, you know? No, I can go over there. I can do it. It's like, no, listen, Daryl, you blink too much, all right? You blink way too much, all right? You gonna run up in there, they gonna think it's a bomb under them or something. You blinking too much. You blinking now. Stop blinking so much. We can't send you over there. You look nervous right now. And so then the group nominates Mark. Mark has at least had a girlfriend. He knows how to talk to women. He's had a girlfriend, he has sisters, and a mom. He knows what to do. Let's get Mark over there. So Mark, elected by the group, goes over there, you know. And even before he walks over, he says something that Mark would say. You know, he stands up and he's like, hey guys, thank you so much. All right, your faith in me means a lot. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna do my best for us, for all of us, okay? I appreciate you all so much, and look, I'm gonna do my darndest. Who knows what the result will be, but your faith in me means the world. No matter what, we're gonna have a great night tonight, okay? See y'all in a second. And then he goes over, he makes his approach. And because Mark is engaging, he's sweet, and he's interesting, he's easy to talk to. And because he's extroverted and he's outgoing, he knows how to approach without creeping or intimidating. And so quickly, you see these 5 ladies having what looks like a really good conversation with Mark. Things are looking up. This is incredible. The body language is phenomenal. Mark is over here working the room. And then Mark makes that motion and he points at y'all. Y'all weren't ready. You didn't know. Everyone was about to look over here. And so Mark points over at you and you're like, Mark turns around and keeps chatting, and after a while things start to slow down. You don't really know why, but some nods and still a couple of laughs. And then Mark, he doesn't beckon you over. He doesn't give the thumbs up like they're about to head back with him. And he comes back. He sits down. And your dumbest friend is like, how'd it go? And Mark says, well, fellas, they all have husbands. But Mark did his best. And that's not actually his fault. He tried, right? You can send a representative. They can promise to do something, and maybe the thing is bigger than the promise that they made. That is possible. That they tried as hard as somebody could try. And they didn't deliver because the circumstances weren't there. But let's talk about a different scenario, a more common scenario. Maybe Mark was sick. He wasn't even there. He's at home. Your buddy Chet is campaigning. And Chet campaigns on some pretty jarring promises. He's like, look, I'm going to go over there, all right? I'm going to be like, what's up? Be like, hey, ladies. You know, that'll get their attention real quick because I'm going to pop up right in. I'm not even going to just like stroll up. I'm going to walk up and then I'm going to clear those last two steps real fast, really get in their face. Bow, right? Like that. What's up, lady? And I'm just going to tell them what it is. I'm like, you could have a boring night or you could have a night with us. And look, Chet is the loudest. He's the loudest. He's the most adamant with the supposedly strongest campaign. And so you elect him. He unfortunately becomes your representative. And you see him off, and he doesn't give a speech like Mark did. He gives a speech like, all right. Next time you see me, I'm gonna be smelling like perfume, all right? And then he walks over, and you see him walk over, and his approach is startling. Because he can't just walk over. He's doing like he's doing a walk that's like kind of Denzel, but if Denzel was severely hurt. You know, Denzel has that swag to his walk. Chet is over here. And then he does what he said he was going to do. He walks up, and you can't really hear him, but you can see the body language. You don't hear him give his little speech, but you can tell when he gives it because everybody slapped him. And then he walks back over. He sits down. And your dumbest friend goes, "How'd it go?" And he's like, "Man, let's get out of here. Everybody's stuck up in here." Oh. And it does feel like that's where we are. Yeah, I mean, we're in a pretty bad situation. There's way more Chets than there are Marks. You know, because I used to look around, especially when I first started touring, even when I was in some of the worst, motels, hotels, like some of the worst, like. But I did the first time I ever got a chance to travel this country at all and meet new people who were from new places that I had never been to before. Not only did I have a good time because I was having these new experiences, but I really felt like I was seeing something really, really beautiful. Everybody wasn't happy and everybody didn't get along. I'm not like pining for a time that didn't exist. I'm just saying that like really getting out for the first time in my life all those years ago felt a lot like walking through that department store with my grandma. It was really special. I look back on it fondly, and I am genuinely afraid that we've gone from that to a dollar store that sells 3% milk.
When I